iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here, race fans. Tonight is Thursday night. That means we are back with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series, presented by Red Light Racing. Tonight we're here at the Five Flag Speedway in Pensacola, Florida, here for the third round of the Modifieds. And this is going to be one heck of a battle. Up here in the booth tonight, my name is Roger Muth, and alongside me is my good friend Al Smith. Al, welcome back here to Thursday night's short track racing action for these modified drivers. And, well, with it only being round number 3 and another one of these very tricky historic short tracks all around the country, it's about to be a good one because the top two, Justin Rigsby and Brian Bianchi, are just separated by 1 point.
Yeah, we got a heck of a tight points battle already brewing, and those two drivers well known on the short track ranks. And I can't be more than happy to come to one of my favorite tracks here on the sim at the Five Flag Speedway. Underneath the lights here tonight, nighttime is the right time for racing, Roger. The grip is up, and the speeds will be as well. Hopefully no tempers will flare, but we got the sheriffs on standby.
Well, with it being short track racing, you never know what's going to happen. We talked about Justin Rigsby and Brian Bianchi. They are the two drivers that have picked up wins this season. Justin Rigsby picked up round number 1's win all the way back at Gateway. And last week, Brian Bianchi picked up the Racing School 100 at Thompson. So it's going to be a whole new ball game. We've been to 2 pretty big tracks, and tonight is going to follow suit with that one. Next week, we do head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway before on May 5th, we head back north to the Stafford Speedway. When you look at this track, Al, though, you talk about it being a historic race here at Five Flags. Of course, the Snowball Derby is held here once a year. This track, though, is very fast. That bottom lane, though, is probably going to be where you want to put those left side tires all night long.
Yeah, especially when you have those fresh Mr. Feelgoods on these open wheel modifieds. You right around the bottom. Turns 3 and 4, though, very tricky. There is no real guided line there. It's really easy to get down on that apron, and that will unload the suspension. And, well, if hang on for the ride when it happens there, Roger. It's going to be definitely a good show here tonight. We're looking forward to it. 20 open wheel modifieds ready to put on a show for you fans here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
But it is time to set the starting lineup here tonight. Take a look at our starting lineup, which is brought to us by our friends over at Six Rings Racing. This is your starting lineup for round number 3. Starting in the front row, out of Florida. Sorry, I wanted to say the Tampa, Florida, but that's the team card of this car. This is car number 2. This is Michael Trevarthen, driving the Rev Esports number 2. To his outside, the driver out of New York, Vermont, driving the Mr. Confusion Motorsports number 18. This is Crash himself of AJ Hamill. Starting back in P number 3, out of the Attitude Esports entry, this is the 85 of Jeff Styles. Last week's winner in the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe number 14 MA. This is Brian Bianchi starting back into the 4th spot. Alfred Sharon Jr. representing the Sharon Racing Stables number 78. He'll start back in 5th. Then the driver out of Ontario, Canada, driving car number 31. Dave Bragg will drive the Jiffy Lube entry. He'll start in 6th. Thomas Killam is back in action here tonight. He'll drive car number 83. He'll start from the 7th starting spot. And the driver out of Spring, Texas, out of the Raven Graphics number 7. This is Doyle Lowrance. Lowrance will drive car 7, starting into the 8th spot. Week 1's winner, driving car number 3, a rookie this season. Justin Rigsby will pilot that. He'll go from the 9th spot. And the Racing School, number 8 of Dan Butler, will start into the 10th position. That's your top 10 here tonight.
Starting on the inside of row number 6 in the Higgins Hill Racing car number 40. Here the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 40. This is Rob Higgins. Outside of him, it's the number 33 out of New England. This is Mike Tashiro. Tashiro driving the Racing School, number 33. Starting 13th is car number 73. This is Philly Edwards, and outside of him in car number 33, the B-Fee Motorsports, number 33 of Brandon Feeney. Dan Murphy will roll off 15th on the inside of row number 8. Outside of him, Grandpa himself, Josh Buckley, in car number 13. Sean Single in car number 11 roll off 17th. Outside of him in the RPM Motorsports, it is Mark Jenkins in car number 99. And shotgun row on the field in car number 30, it is Bob Higgins. And outside of him is Aiden Alvecchione in car number 271. That's your 20-car starting field for tonight's Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modifieds here at the Five Flag Speedway.
100 laps will be the distance here, race fans. You see them out there onto the raceway. All 20 drivers did make the call to the starting lineup here tonight, so we will get ready. It'll be car number 2 of Michael Trevarthen, and to his outside, AJ Hamill, the Arts Barbershop number 18. Real slow start here by the number 2 of Trevarthen, but the green flag is going to go up. We are racing here tonight at the Five Flag Speedway. Michael Trevarthen down to the bottom. Everybody looks like they're all sorts of jumbled up sideways for the 18 of AJ Hamill. Hamill parked it into the outside wall there out of turn number 2. The Arts Barbershop number 18 comes to a rest. Another one of those drivers involved, I believe that is the number 85 of Jeff Styles. Philly Edwards comes to a complete stop there also, but the caution flag will fly here on lap number 1 tonight, as all drivers do pull away, it does look like, from the back straightaway, but the caution lights are on here for the first time. We'll take a look back here. What happened to AJ Hamill in that machine? Let's zoom it out a little bit. Watch him out of turn number 2. Gets a little bit up there into the marbles, it looks.
He got up there in that loose stuff, and the car just breaks loose on him. Other than contact with Styles, I don't think the car will be hurt too bad, but we'll see. Hamill having a very tough start to the season so far, as you've noted here in the openings part of this one, but I believe should be able to carry on here tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't a very hard hit, actually, to the outside wall, other than bouncing off of Jeff Styles' machine. I do think he's going to be all right as we continue to take looks here. Riding on board now with Jeff Styles. There you see the contact, and yeah, Styles backed it into the inside retaining wall, but I don't think his car is going to be too worse for wear either. So I do think all drivers will be able to carry on here tonight. Race leader still going to be scored as Michael Trevarthen, and Alfred Sharon Jr. He's going to be the biggest mover so far here, as he missed that wreck, and he will pick up 3 spots. He should restart here into the 2nd position unless he wants to go to the back of the field. Then it'll be Brian Bianchi and Thomas Killam. That's your top 4 drivers here tonight as we get ready. I do believe we should get that 1 lap to go marker here. We'll see what the iRacing safety car does say, and we do. So it'll be one to go this time by. And race fans, if you are a little confused, that is the one car of Alfred Sharon Jr. if you're watching the red car on the screen. If you look at the scoring and timing, though, it may show a little bit something different. That's car number 79 of Sharon, so don't get confused if we call it the 79 or the 1. It is the same driver here tonight of Alfred Sharon Jr. driving the Racing School Red, number 1. Pace car down, ready to go.
Trevarthen Sharon going to bring him to the green flag crawl space. Into that restart zone. We're back on our way. Trevarthen with a good start, but Sharon with a good run on the inside. But Bianchi, last week's winner, trying to fill that hole. He'll fall into that third spot. Top 3 cars. Single it out, make it top 4 now. Side by side back there for the 5th position.
Come back across the line. It'll be Michael Trevarthen leading this one. All cars back out onto the raceway except for one, and that is going to be Jeff Stiles as everybody is battling for the spot. You got to go back here to the driver of car number 8 of Dan Butler. He's trying to hold off the number 40. Contact there. Rob Higgins and Mike Taschereau making a little wheel-to-wheel contact. Got to be mindful. These cars, they are open-wheel modifieds. They don't like to be beaten and banged on the Nerf bars, really, on the side of these cars, because, well, you could make wheel contact, and if you make a little wheel contact in these cars, it could spell a whole disaster for the rest of your night.
Definitely, Gammy, they're very, very, so up to, you got to make sure you keep their driver rebounding nicely, battling inside, now going for 12th on the outside, working the outside of Jenkins. That's A.J. Hamill, started in that number 2 position, already making his way back up through the field here. So tries to work around that STP number 99, but up front, there's still Trevarthen. He's got about make it a 2 car length advantage over Sharon.
He'll come by that time. It'll be 10 laps officially completed here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. Out of the 100 that is scheduled there, you see the battle for the race lead. Call it about 0.3 of a second. 3.5 car lengths maybe is what it is this time as they come off turn number 4. Complete another one for Michael Trevarthen, Alfred Sharon, Brian Bianchi, Justin Rigsby, and then the gaggle of cars back here in the battle for the 5th spot because it's Dave Bragg now getting underneath the 83 of Thomas Gillum. That'll put Gillum back there into the 6th spot and head on Doyle Lowrance. He hasn't been here in a couple weeks, been having some Oculus issues. The driver out of Spring, Texas. And right behind him, it's the Racing School number 8 in contact. Around is going to go the 7. He'll just slide up and he gets split by A.J. Hamill and Mark Jenkins, who were battling hard down into turn number 1. Caution lights for the second time will come out, though, as the 7. There you see him. That's the Raven Graphics entry of Doyle Lowrance going for a little bit of a ride, and got to bring the caution lights on all around the speedway here tonight, the Five Flags Speedway. You saw that one live as the 7 of Lowrance got a little bit of a tap, and up the speedway he went. Let's take a look, see if we have that right here. There it is, the tap down into the corner. The 7 takes a real wide drift, and man, I wonder if we have a onboard camera with A.J. Hamill, because I believe that's going to be an interesting one. There it is, the onboard camera. You just missed it. You just missed the 7 as A.J. was coming down into turn number 1. Take another look at it here. This is a good angle. There you see the 99 go high. A.J. Hamill goes low, and right there goes that 7 machine. So everybody going to come out of that one looking pretty good. Maybe just a little worse for wear on the tires for the 7 of Lowrance, but everybody else going to carry on here. And one driver coming to pit road, that was Joshua Buckley here under the caution flag.
We did touch about it here. We heard rumblings down on pit road pre-race that there was a chance that they would need fuel here tonight.
Yeah, the number 13 of Josh Buckley did come down. It does look like no tires for the 13, just fuel. So it does seem to be what everybody has gone for so far. Josh Buckley also has been down on pit road multiple times. So I think he's just trying to pack the fuel cell as full as he can here. And then once he finally hits a number that his team feels like they have reached, he won't come to pit road anymore. But it is Michael Trevarthen still out front here tonight. Alfred Sharon Jr., Brian Bianchi, Justin Rigsby, Dave Bragg is sitting there currently into the 5th spot. So not so bad for Dave Bragg here tonight. He's having himself a good run in the Jiffy Lube number 31. There you see the driver out of Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. making the tow all the way down here to Pensacola, Florida tonight, virtual here on the iRacing.com platform. Race fans, we thank you tonight for tuning in, joining us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We appreciate each and every one of you. We have hit the 2,000 subscriber marks over on our YouTube page. We're almost there to the 2,000 follower number, though, on our Turn 3 Racing Network Facebook page. We appreciate each and every one of you guys, no matter where you're tuning in from, whether it's over on our Facebook page or our YouTube page. We hope you are enjoying tonight's show here with Al Smith joining myself here into the booth tonight. And Al, these short tracks sure are fun.
They are a lot of fun, and you gotta get up on the wheel, and these guys like to put on the best show that they can, which is always right on the edge of your seat, week in and week out. Love the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series, the Mod Squad, here on Thursday nights. I like Thursday night racing. It's a good time.
Thursday night is a good time because it leads us right into the weekend racing here in the real world side of things as the green flag goes back up. A little bit of a jumbled start right around the mid-pack. I believe that was Dan Murphy Jr. who didn't quite get going on the start, but it'll be Michael Trevarthen down the back straightaway. He'll squeak right up in front of Alfred Sharon Jr. and Brian Bianchi thought about trying to push the envelope, but he went right back there, got in line. Now he is under attack because here comes Week 1's winner, our points championship leader tonight. Here comes that white and red. Number 3, Justin Rigsby, trying to take the third spot down the back straightaway.
Rigsby going to drive it right down low, and you get a good drive. You keep it down low just like that. Rigsby into the number 3 spot. Now Bianchi's going to have to hold off the number 31 of Bragg. Those two cars separate themselves. And how about Dan Butler in that number 8 car running in the 6th position? Doing a good job keeping it down low. That is going to be the key here tonight, is keeping it low off of turn number 4, because it's easy to drift out. That wall will jump out and grab these open wheel modifieds here. And, well, they'll have to go to the Checkered Flag Auto Supplier to get the repairs for next week.
And always find your race car parts. I heard Matt Swanson's been stopping by the shop up there in Ayer, Massachusetts. Of course, Matt Swanson has a shop right down the road from the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, so maybe when you stop in there for some of your auto parts, you might be able to also meet a little bit of a New England celebrity up into the area, as now here comes Racing School number 8 of Dan Butler. He is now working to the inside of that Jiffy Lube entry as the battle for the race lead is heating up also, as the Racing School number 1 of Alfred Sharon Jr. is looking. He'll lead lap number 24 here tonight as he takes the race lead into one. Crossover attempt. Here comes that number 2, Michael Trevarthen, trying to rally back on the bottom side. Not going to quite be able to do it, as the new race leader, though, is now Alfred Sharon Jr.
Right now, Sharon in a good groove, opening up a little, about a half a car length into turn number 1. Right down on that white line, that's where you want to be. Roger, you touched about on that in the pre-race show. Right around the bottom's where you want to be early on. I think as the tires wear out, I think you can fend off on that outside. That seems to be what you can do around here at the Five Flags Speedway. But right now, great battles all the way here around the racetrack. Everybody, one car up the racetrack. Trying to see who that was. I believe that was...
I think that's the 271 there of Aiden Alvecchione, who's back there battling with Philly Edwards. He was just up the speedway, and Aiden currently moving up 2 spots from where he qualified tonight. He's being scored into the 18th position, while Jeff Stiles is coming back out onto the raceway also there in car number 85, so he'll rejoin the battle as one car a little bit sideways, that time off turn number 4. That was the STP number 99 of Mark Jenkins. He is racing tonight out of Richmond, Virginia. Right behind him, AJ Hamill. He just kind of hung it out that time out of turn number 2. He'll take a dive down to the inside in 3 to try and get around Jenkins. Not going to quite have anything there. Oh, now Jenkins going to open up the door. There goes AJ Hamill. Here comes Rob Higgins.
Rob Higgins going to try to fill that hole that Jenkins opened up, as the STP can is going to slam the lid down tight on the 40 of Higgins. Right there, it went down the apron. You see how upset the car got? Had to back out of it. That stacks him up. So now Higgins, along with the 77 right there behind him of Sean Single. That's an 11, excuse me. Sorry, Sean. I should know that by now, Ron.
That's not even Sean driving that car this week. That's actually Recky Stenhouse, as I believe his dad would call him. Or Shanika Patrick might possibly be behind the wheel. We're not quite halfway, so we can't exactly tell you which driver is behind the wheel of that number 11 here tonight. We'll let old Mr. Single decide that one here a little bit later on. Of course, Sean's dad always tuning in, a big loyal supporter here of us on the network, watching his son drive car number 11 there. That blue and orange entry, the BK Paints entry here tonight. Currently, Sean has moved up 5 spots from where he is qualified tonight, and he's trying to take another one as he'll take a bid down to the inside of that checkered flag on display, number 40, as that number 11 is working the bottom side of the speedway here on lap number 34. Let's see. Oh, he's going to slide up the speedway. You saw the flames come out of the tailpipes on the left-hand side of that car. And now at the line, that will give the number 11 of Sean Single the spot. Now Rob Higgins has to try and get back down because Doyle Lowrance is also right there.
A good recharge back to the field after you see him get sideways there. Lawrence in that number 7 car really charging in, washes up that time in the middle of 1 and 2. Has to regather it back in. Butler, though, just getting by Bianchi for that number 4 position.
Yeah, that Racing School orange and white machine. There is a little bit of cosmetic difference on that 8 machine here this week, and that is the black bonnet. There you see right underneath the big old snorkel air cleaner that these modifieds have here tonight. There you see, almost a little contact there. The Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, number 14MA. Going to go up the speedway just a little bit. Dan Murphy Jr. has joined the group, but Mike Tasher is also right there. So it's a Racing School sandwich right now for Brian Bianchi because he is currently between the 8 and the 33. And Dan Murphy Jr. is also tagged on to the back end of this battle. Mike Tasher, of course, has already moved up 6 spots. Dan Murphy Jr. has picked up 8 spots since we've gone racing. So a good pick up here for a bunch of these guys before the halfway point. Now you got to put your thinking cap on, though, coming close to halfway, and we know you can't quite make it on fuel.
And the question is some of the drivers that were down on pit road back lap 2, 3, lap 14, did they get enough fuel? Did they save enough? Underneath, we only had 2 yellow flags so far here tonight. Will they have enough fuel in the tank to make it with the guys that stayed out? We know they can't make it. We were told that by the crew chiefs on top of the pit boxes that they cannot make it. So, question is, if it stays green, when do you come down? Right now, we got a good green feel to this race. When do you come down pit road? That is going to be the magic question. And when do you do it? And when do you do it successfully? Pit road very slow here, easy to get a pit road penalty. Very hard to get on, especially for the amount of marbles already gathering on the infield.
Yeah, there's one driver having some problems that maybe got up into the marbles already, and that's the 99 on Jenkins. He just lost a spot there to Higgins and Lowrance. Lowrance got around him. Now the 99 on Jenkins, and he's trying to battle here. That's the 83 of Thomas Killam. Killam working the outside of the speedway, trying to go around the outside, the long way around. Usually not a place we see a lot of these drivers make passes, but it does look like the 99 is struggling oh so much, and now he's going to get sideways off turn 2. He's down onto the grass with the left side tires of that STP entry. Looks like he might be coming to pit road here at this point. Maybe he just wore the good off those big racing slicks, because now on the short tracks, when you get up into the marbles and you start to slide the tires around, oh, almost contact there for the second place car. That was Michael Trevarthen. He just clipped the inside wall down in 3 and 4. And that's going to make Justin Rigsby kind of back off a little bit in car number 3. Now you got to worry, did Rigsby just slide the tires too much? Talking about sliding the tires on these short tracks. A lot of horsepower, big wide tire, but when you heat it up and wear it out, it's like being on ice.
Yeah, and then what happened there, Trevarthen got down on that apron I talked about in that pre-race. Just got a little bit too low. That really washes you up. Gathered it up, Rigsby had to back out of it. And then we had a 3-car battle for the race lead. Now everybody's separating itself out. But Trevarthen starting to make that march. Did Sharon get on the gas a little bit too hard? Did the tires start to go away? Now Trevarthen up the racetrack almost kisses the outside concrete.
He'll hang on to it, though, but you got to question, how hard is he pushing? Are those tires starting to wear? With this time by, we will be halfway home in this race here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. It'll be 50 in with 50 to go at Five Flags, as it is Alfred Sharon Jr. as the race leader, with Michael Trevarthen, Justin Rigsby, Dan Butler, and Brian Bianchi back there into position number 5. That is how they're looking currently. Mike Tashro, Dan Murphy Jr., AJ Hamill has worked his way back into the top 10 after starting on the front row here tonight. Then it'll be Dave Bragg, Sean Single rounding out the top 10. That's how they are And right now, as they roll around the speedway, one driver is out of tonight's event. It does look like the 99 of Mark Jenkins, something going south on that STP entry, so he'll close the lid of that can, and he'll try again next week when we do head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway.
We had them all jammed up and jelly tight back here, battling back towards the back of the field in the 13th position. Lawrence working the extreme high side of the speedway, and he's trying to make it work. Feeney is down low. We got him 2x2 off of turn number 4. Close quarters racing as Lawrence really working the high side of the racetrack, getting that momentum as he just gets shuffled back to the 15th position as Alvecchione has gone back by him. Here comes the 73 of Edwards working the bottom of the racetrack. Something going awry on that number 7 car after he charged towards the top 10.
Noah Lowrance has had some problems this season with the number 7 program here on Thursday nights. Has missed the first 2 shows here because of, well, connection issues with his Oculus. And unfortunately, we are racing virtually here as Lowrance gets real close down to the inside wall there in turn number 1. He did clip the green cone down there. Everybody's always picking on the cones here on iRacing, but you know, when we do race here virtually on iRacing, we can have issues just like anybody that ever goes to the racetrack. You know, maybe a carburetor not jetted the correct way when you unload and you go to step on the gas and it just pops and bangs and carries on. And, well, that's kind of what Doyle's Oculus has been doing the last couple of weeks. So, man, we always think everything in the virtual side of the world is absolutely flawless and perfect, but we see with Lowrance how he's been the last couple of weeks. Sometimes those gremlins do creep up, and he's had to battle with it. Still out front, though, it's Alfred Sharon Jr. There is Michael Trevorth, and that's the battle for the race lead. Call it a half a car length into 3.
Yeah, and Trevarthen really putting the pressure to the backside. Hasn't quite made the contact yet there, but just putting the pressure, trying to force Sharon into a mistake, unable to do it so far, as the number 1 car runs there as your race leader. The 2 of Trevarthen is in that number 2 spot, and they have opened up about a second gap over 3rd place running Justin Rigsby, who's got about a second and we'll call it 2/10 over the 4th place of Bianchi. Everybody really starting to settle into this run as we are working lap number 61, coming across straight now, putting 61 into the books. So, and they got lap traffic to deal with right there in front of your race leader. I believe that is the 85 of Jeff Stiles, and he's back on the racetrack after that first lap incident.
Problems for the 33 of Mike Taschereau. Something has broke on the 33, the racing school entry. Taschereau trying to get it off the racetrack. He's coasting around 3 and 4 right now. It does look like he will get back to pit road. The question being, what happened to the 33? He was battling inside the top 5. Take a look here. Our truck says they have something. There you see the 33. A.J. Hamill down to the inside on the 33 of Mike Taschereau, and Taschereau up the track, winds up scraping the wall out of 4, comes down into the 18 of A.J. Hamill, and around goes the 33. No caution came out onto the speedway as there wasn't anybody immediately coming, so the flag man did just stay green flag racing.
Yeah, right now doesn't seem to have made much of a difference to that 18 car. That was a pretty hard lick for both of those race cars. Obviously, Taschereau on pit road getting some damages repaired after putting it into the fence after that contact. That's what it gets real hard off of turn number 4, especially as the tires wear out, they get greasy. It's easy to let it slide up there, and Mike did a good job holding on to that. So, did a good job. Unfortunately, going to be down on pit road here for a couple laps, it looks like, as he's still in his pit stall.
Pressure again coming here from the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. One driver still down on pit road. That's the 33 of Mike Taschereau. I am starting to see little bits of movement down there in pit lane. We'll see if these drivers are going to be getting ready to come down for green flag pit cycles here tonight. As it is still Alfred Sharon Jr. out front with Michael Trevarthen, Justin Rigsby, Brian Bianchi, Dan Butler. There in the racing school entry does round down the top 5 drivers. That's how they're running currently out there onto the speedway. As they're coming this time by, they will complete lap number 69, put 70, as we got that battle still brewing for the race lead.
Question is, when do you come down pit road? Do you wait and see if that yellow? I think you have to wait until the very last moment. You start maybe get close to the sputtering stages on there, but it's tough to try to guess. Anything can happen on a short track race, and especially with how hard these guys are racing around this racetrack. The battle for first is still a good one. Rigsby runs in third. He's starting to close in as Trevarthen takes a peek to the inside down the front stretch.
Wasn't able to do anything with it. Did get the door slammed back on his face there. This is the best battle that is on the speedway, and it does just happen to be for the race lead here with green flag pit stops pending, possibly. And Al, if you come to pit road, do you bother putting 2 tires on, or do you just get enough fuel and get out of Dodge?
I think at this juncture of the race, I think you have to take just fuel only. It's too long of a time to be on pit road to get tires. Would it make a difference? Sure, but you're not going to make up that difference in laps unless everybody else comes down pit road. I think you have to take just fuel only, Roger, and I think only a few gallons. You're only going to have 25 laps to go or less by the time you come down pit road.
Next time by, we should see the tower counter flip over and start to count down here tonight. It's been counting up. We've hit the 75 lap marker, and nobody out of the race top 2 have come to pit road, not even into the top 3. There you see 25 to go as Michael Trevarthen took a real big dive to the bottom. That's going to force Sharon Jr. up the speedway. Trevarthen stuck the nose there, and it absolutely worked. New race, well, not a new race leader, but a new race leader since the last time we've had a lead change. It'll be Michael Trevarthen back to the top spot on the leaderboard, 24 laps to go. Now you have to wonder, does Alfred Sharon use that same move there? He takes a peek down to the inside. He'll fill the mirror of car number 2.
They got traffic right in front of them. They're going to encounter the number 30 of Bob Higgins. Higgins running that mid to upper line, I would call it right now, as they work there. Is Trevarthen able to open up on a car length advantage as they work in the turn 3 and 4. The one of Sharon really getting through 3 and 4 well. He's struggling a little bit down in 1 and 2. I'm going to call he's got a little bit of that L-itis, because that's the problem I have here when I get behind the wheel at the Five Flag Speedway.
Al, when was the last time you got behind the wheel here at the Five Flag Speedway?
Probably December of 21.
That's a long
time.
Been
a long time. Well, yeah. It's a long time. Uh-oh, trouble. Sean Single has gone around. AJ Hamill also involved.
Well, those two have got together the last 2 weeks here on Thursday night. It does look like AJ Hamill's going to have to use the tow truck to get himself back to pit road, so the caution flag flying with just 20 laps to go.
This is when we're going to find out when we pit, Roger.
I bet we pit now.
I bet you.
So with the caution lights on and Recky Stinkhouse down on the pit road there driving car number 11 tonight, let's take a look back here. What happened to these two drivers? They were battling for what was the 7th and 8th position. AJ Hamill up the speedway. Oh, AJ going to clip the outside wall. Sean Single having nowhere to go. Bump starts car number 11 as AJ Hamill sits sideways on the front straightaway, having to wait for a tow truck. Right on board here. You're riding on board with the checkered flag auto display onboard camera with Sean Single. Absolutely nowhere that Sean Single was going to go as AJ Hamill slid up into the outside wall off turn 4. AJ was just trying to get everything he could out of car number 18.
Yeah, he had a good run going, had a nice rebound after that incident on the opening lap there. Climbed himself back inside the top 10. And, well, I was talking to him a little bit earlier in the day as he was unloading the car, saying a dismal start, both on Monday nights and here on Thursday nights. Was hoping for a turnaround. We know he's got speed. We know he's got the talent. We just got to get a little bit of luck on his side, and I think you'll see Hamill contending for some wins here, especially on Thursday nights on the short track rings.
So, we watched the replay back, and we were right. Drivers did come to pit road, and some drivers did not. 3 drivers stayed out because they pitted inside the first 20 laps of this race. That is going to be Joshua Buckley in the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes entry. He drives car 13. He'll restart on the pole here, and to his outside, it'll be the 271, the driver out of South Carolina for Aiden Alvecchione. Right behind him, it'll be the old hipster, the number 73 of Philly Edwards. And then we see the first car that came to pit road. I believe it's just fuel only for the number number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He'll restart 4th. 5th will be Justin Rigsby. Same strategy for him. No tires, just fuel. Brian Bianchi, I do believe, put 2 tires possibly on car number 14 MA, as he will restart the first car back there into the 6th spot with what I do believe is 2 tires. iRacing.com safety car lights will go out. So we'll get the restart with just 15 laps to go.
You are right on that. Just taking a look back at our pit road feed, and fuel only. The first car with tires is the 14 of Bianchi. We'll see how much tires mean with 15 to go, Roger. Top 3 cars. I think I like the track position play right now. We're going to see how much importance these tires are as the base car down in the safe haven of pit road. Field working into the restart zone. Josh Buckley is going to be the first one to put the accelerator through the dash, or to get board. We're back underway.
Racing into turn number 1, a great start by the number 13 of Joshua Buckley. Aiden Alvecchione having actually a really good start on those older tires. He'll be able to go down to the bottom side. The first cars that are side by side with 15 to go. 14 now as they cross the line. It'll be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen. He'll squeeze down in front of the number 73 of Philly Edwards. So Michael Trevarthen, one driver that had one of the quickest cars all night long, has picked his way through traffic very quickly. Now he's all over the back end of Aiden Alvecchione. Vecchione's going to make him go to the outside here in turn 1 if he wants to get there. Oh, look at the big checkup. 2 different driving styles here between the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen and the 271 of Aiden Alvecchione. Alvecchione going to choose the bottom down here in 3 and 4.
And Rigsby got into the back bumper. Trevarthen way up the racetrack. Bianchi as well, able to reel it back in 2 by 2. Now look at Sharon. Going to go to the outside. Sharon going to try to make it 3 wide. Tucks it back in 2 to go. You can tell that this is getting close to the end of the race as the action. They're going to try to go 3 wide off turn number 4. They think better of it. 11 laps to go around this half mile at the 5 legs. Contact! Bianchi is sideways. He saves it. Somehow we stay green.
Another driver down to the grass, and that's car number 7 of Doyle Lowrance. He's going to keep it going. One car, though, has spun it around. I do believe that is going to be the number 85 of Jeff Stiles. We stay green. Battle for second place. Now here comes that number 2 of Michael Trevarthen as we got the double high fives last time by, so we're stay green. And with 10 to go, Josh Buckley leads us back across the line. Under 10 laps to go, and over a half a second race lead has Buckley, Trevarthen, Alvecchione, Edwards, Sharon, Higgins, Rigsby, Feeney, Bragg, and Murphy is how they run.
Sharon going to go down to the inside. He'll work by the 73 of Edwards to now move the number 1 into the 4th position. 8 laps to go. Can he get around Alvecchione off of turn number 2? Works the outside of the racetrack, keeping the momentum up here in these tour style modifieds. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply modifieds working off turn number 4. 7 laps to go.
7 laps to go, and 0.2 of a second have been taken out of the race leader's lead, and that is Joshua Buckley trying to run away and hide as the caution lights are going to come on. Caution lights on with 6 laps to go as we were coming to get 6 to go. This I'm looking at it, it might take us into overtime here tonight, but I do believe one driver going for a little bit of a ride, bringing out that caution flag, and I'm being told it's the number 30 of Bob Higgins. Let's take a look back here. What happened to the number 30 of Higgins? He was back there, looks like about the 14th position. Oh, up into the outside retaining wall out of 4, and sparks go flying as he goes down the front straightaway.
Looks like a possible maybe right front tire going down. The car just went straight off of turn number 4. Mechanical failure. Tough break for the 30 of Bob Higgins. Hate to see that. Buckley definitely hates to see that. He had a nice lead there. Now he's going to have to get up on that wheel. Throw that walker out the back of the car. He's going to have to run.
I heard he was just actually hanging out. He said to not tell his wife to check the credit card statement. He was at Harbor Freight, and he didn't know Harbor Freight sold tennis balls. He bought the whole entire stock at the store of tennis balls to be able to put on all these brand new walkers that he's going to have made up there. And I heard he's going to kind of hobble his way with his walkers over to the, is it the Foxwood Casino up there?
Could be that one.
Well, I heard he's going to use all those tennis balls for that.
I'm trying to geographically, put it together.
Well, you're from New York, and they're from Massachusetts, and I'm from Pennsylvania, and all the jokes that run between all three of those states, we're just let them for the fans that are out there to giggle about here tonight, because it'll be 3 to go at the line. If we don't get the double-up marker here, this will take us into overtime tonight, and we are not going to get the double-up signal here tonight. So, race fans, tonight we're going to take us into overtime here tonight with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series for red light racing. What's better than going 100 laps? Going 101 laps.
Now, the guys that came in, like Josh Buckley, Lavecchione, and Edwards, they haven't been on pit road since lap 3 or lap 14. Do they have enough for these overtime attempts?
Well, you don't know. I can tell you they have made their bed, and they are going to have to lie in it here tonight. This is green-white checker attempt number 1. I do believe we have 3 on the docket if we were to need them, and it will be Joshua Buckley choosing the inside lane here tonight with his Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 13. They'll put the BK Paints number 2 of Michael Trevarthen to the outside, and it'll be the Racing School number 1 of Alfred Sharon Jr. and the youngster. There you see him with the 271 of Aiden Alvecchione. He'll be on the outside. That's how the front 4 look here tonight as we're come back this time. Green, white, checker as we get ready to go as Josh Buckley will have to wait for green. A long crawl here tonight. Green flag back into the air. Here we go. One driver up into the outside wall as caution lights immediately coming back on. Dan Murphy Jr. Something happening on that start. The driver out of Pepperell, Massachusetts, is now gone up in smoke in car number 41, and we're waiting for the truck to cue that one back, but I don't believe that's what Joshua Buckley wanted to see.
No, Dan Butler pulling away as well as smoke billows underneath the black bonnet on the front of his Racing School number 8. And I believe Buckley lost the lead on that restart, showing Trevarthen as your race leader. Was he ahead of him at the line? That is going to be the question.
A lot of damage on Dan Butler's entry. He made it a lot farther than the 3 laps that he messaged me prior to coming into the race lobby here tonight. So I guess got to take the small achievements when you can. But let's take a look back here at this green flag restart here. Watch this group right here. This outside lane, something happened. Watching the outside. Oh, Dan Murphy got tapped from the number 14 of Brian Bianchi, and Dan Butler, just the innocent bystander. He was just down to the bottom side. Let's see if we ride on board here with Dan Butler riding on board that Checkered Flag Auto Supply onboard camera feed. And it's going to show you exactly. Very slow start here. And Bianchi just one contact, one time into the back end of that number 41 of Murphy. And that's all it took to get him sideways.
Attempt number 2.
Do you think we're making it to turn 1 on attempt 2?
I think so.
So yes, the score. Yeah, I believe we're going to get around on this one all the way to the end. The question is, who is going to have the race lead? Scoring officials looking back at that last loop, and they are saying that it is going to be the number 2 of Michael Trevarthen as our race leader. So Trevarthen will be the race leader. Then it'll be Joshua Buckley, Alfred Sharon Jr. back there in P number 3, and Aiden Alvecchione will hold serve back into the 4 spot. Philly Edwards in car number 73 will go 5th. It'll be Rob Higgins into the 6th spot, while Brandon Feeney will go 7th. Justin Rigsby is back into the 8th spot. Dave Bragg is 9th, and Doyle Lowrance has climbed his way back into the top 10 after going for a little bit of a slide earlier here tonight at the Five Flags Speedway. So that's how they will restart inside the top 10 as we get ready to go. We got to thank everybody that's tuning in here tonight. We do see Blade Timmons is out there. Sean Single, unfortunately, is down on the infield. He's watching from the top of his hauler here tonight. And, of course, everybody else that's tuning in here tonight on the Dream Racing Network. We hope you're enjoying tonight's race here from the Five Flags Speedway as we're ready to go racing overtime attempt number 2.
Trevarthen Buckley on the front row. Trevarthen's going to have Sharon right in his back pocket on this restart. Those have been the 2 cars battling all race long. Be good to see Buckley pull one out here. Let's see what happens. Restart zone they go into. The Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Restart zone is up. We're back underway. Attempt number 2 as they head down to the turn number 1. Trevarthen with a good start. Here comes Buckley working to the outside. He'll fall back to the third spot.
As they battle down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Sharon down to the inside here. It'll be the white flag this time out of turn number 4. White flag presented by Culpeper's Bakery and Cafe. It's the final trip around the speedway. Michael Trevarthen to the outside, and Alfred Sharon Jr. almost contact that time out of 2. Race into turn number 3. First one back to the flag stand's going to win this one out of turn number 4. Drag race. Give it to the Florida driver. Michael Trevarthen going to hang on here tonight. It'll be Alfred Sharon, Joshua Buckley, Aiden Alvecchione with his best career finish back there into the 4th spot. Philly Edwards in 5th, Rob Higgins in 6th, Brandon Feeney will come across in 7th. 8th will go to Justin Rigsby, Thomas Killam in 8th, and Dave Bragg will finish into the 10th position. That's your unofficial top 10. Take a look on the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver will finish off here tonight, as Michael Trevarthen going to try and do some donuts here possibly. I think he... Al, could you get out there and help him?
No, I don't know how to do donuts. I don't win.
Well, you know how to eat them. Got him.
Oh,
just like we got a post-race show for you race fans coming up. Post-race show back here in a couple moments, brought to us by Holy Shirts and Pants after this.
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
He's going to pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's going to get them all done with. What amazing.
Lee to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is going to touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save.
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
I'm going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
He's trying, there's contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Leonard drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the Paravolca. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the Paravolca. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schubert, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome back here tonight, race fans, to the Five Flags Speedway. After a little bit of overtime needed here tonight in Florida to figure out who was going to go to victory lane tonight in our Checkered Flag Auto Supply Modified Series. Our post-race show standing by here, presented tonight by Holy Shirts and Pants. And, well, he's got a holy shirt, he's got a holy pants, that's for sure. The driver that wound up in victory lane here tonight, how about it, Michael Trevarthen? You're able to do it here tonight, but boy, did you have to work for this one. The car looked good at the beginning, then you fell back to second, and it looks like you ate the inside wall at one point, and then all of a sudden, overtime comes and you're out front.
Yeah, I definitely didn't want to see those cautions. We had to pit for fuel anyway, but yeah, it was a hell of a race.
A hell of a race is what he says. Well, describe this hell of a race for us out here.
Yeah, the car felt good. I let Alfie go there early, and just trying to save a little bit of tire air, but the car felt good pretty much the all 100 laps, so I just kept my foot in it.
So when you look back at the race here, you pick up the big W, so it's going to look good in the points column. Of course, you know, you came in running 7th in the points championship, and we now head to a track a little bit further north here out of Florida. We're going to head to the virtual Myrtle Beach Speedway. How do you feel about dodging some turtles in turn 1?
Yeah, we like Myrtle Beach, so it's going to be some more short track combat, so hopefully we can pull another top 3 out.
All right, before we let you go, the red carpet's out. The microphone is yours, Mike, who makes it possible with this brightly colored too.
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to BK Paints, Rev Esports, McConey Setup Shop, Platinum RV. Sorry, Dalton couldn't be here tonight. hats off to the league, you in the broadcast booth, and give her hell.
There you hear it. Michael Trevarthen tonight will go to Victory Lane, and, well, he'll celebrate this one a little bit later into the evening than he normally does on Thursday night. And the man that comes home second, though, and, well, how about it there, Sharon? Finish on the podium tonight, and you had the number, though, to possibly take the big win. What did you need here in the closing stages of this one?
I just needed someone to not try to door slap me going into one in the last lap, but I get it's the last lap, but it's just a mentality I have. You race how you want to be raced, so now I know if I'm leading and he's in second, I'll just come down and make him either wreck me or brake like I did for him.
Well, since now 5 Flags is in the books, and it's been a couple good weeks for you here on Thursday night, can we keep the momentum rolling along here as we're still early into the season, but all these points that you're going to accumulate now will pay off big time at the end?
Yeah, I just heard you say next race is Myrtle Beach. Track is awesome. As long as you don't hit the turtles on the inside of turn 1, you can have fast laps there, and I think it'll be a fun race.
Well, before we let you go here tonight, who's on the side of this number 1 entry that makes us all possible to turn left?
This is the new car that we have for TRS this season. This is what it's going to look like if you come out to TRS and actually want to race it. It's got TRS on the side. It's got Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Just got to thank Mike and Dan for being my teammates in TRS. And then I just want to dedicate this race to my grandfather that just passed away yesterday. And thank you for broadcasting, and Josh and all them for putting this on.
There you hear it from the driver of car number 1 here tonight, driving with a heavy heart and, well, driving with a heavy foot. He'll finish in P number 2. I believe, though, a very special guest sitting into the 3rd spot. How about it, Al? I think you're standing by. You've been cracking some jokes and some steel reserves with him over there.
Yeah, trying to steal reserves for the first time down here on pit road. And, well, we're down here with Josh Buckley, and Josh had the right strategy. Just the yellow flags came out at the end there. Talk us through your race. It was a great race for you.
Yeah, just trying to run. I didn't think I had the fastest car. Just that late caution. I figured everyone was going to pit because a lot of leaders still needed to pit for fuel, and I was like, I already did that. I believe the second caution we had, I took fuel. I didn't know. I know the fresh tires are very squirrely on the start, so I thought that would give me the advantage with not even 20 to go. And unfortunately, we got that late caution. I had to try to fend off Trevarthen and Alfie there, and I'll still take 3rd place.
Yeah, it was a great race all around. A lot of great action all the way through it here. You're going to come home with a nice 3rd place finish, and next week we head up to Myrtle Beach for round number 4. And how's your outlook up there trying to dodging those turtle shells?
I like the track. It's unique. Obviously, that's what makes Myrtle Beach so great. And I think it's going to be a good hard race, probably similar to this one a little bit, just on the lap times and everybody being so close together. So it's just going to be probably, I'm not going to say it's going to be a wreck fest, but just a matter of dodging wrecks if and when they happen and just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, we saw a few cars get a little bit loose off of the corners here. Easy to do that at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, but overall, what a great night for you and this team. And maybe you can get your pit guys some clothes now after tonight.
been rocking those heart-shaped boxers for a while. It definitely gets everybody's attention.
Well, overall, great night for you. We'll roll the red carpet out. Who makes it all possible for you and this 13 team to be here on the podium here tonight?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you guys for always the great broadcasts over at Turn 3. Everybody who comes out here at Red Light Racing, just the racing between the admins, Eric and Rob, myself, and then just everybody who comes out and just, makes this a thing every week. I definitely appreciate that. On top of that, obviously, Granny Hips, Buckley, Walkers and Canes, Checkered Flag Auto Supply, the Racing School for everything they do, Culpepper's Bakery and Cafe as well. And yeah, that's it.
All right, well, let's go enjoy some more of these steel beers here, and we'll toss it back up to Roger.
Alrighty.
There you hear it, race fans, from your top 3 finishers here tonight in our post-race show, which is brought to us by our friends over at Holy Shirts and Pants. If you don't have Holy Shirts and Pants, well, you don't have Holy Shirts and Pants. But tonight's top 3, Michael Trevarthen going victory lane, followed by Alfred Sharon Jr. with a very fast entry here tonight, Joshua Buckley. But the man that finishes in the 4th position, he has his best ever finish. That was Aiden Ovecchione. He finished into the 4th spot, 16 spots gained, so he's also the biggest mover and shaker here tonight at the dance. Philly Edwards will finish into the 5th spot. Rob Higgins officially finishes 6th. Brandon Feeney in 7th. Justin Rigsby, your points championship leader, coming into the night. He'll finish into the 8th spot. Thomas Killam, Dave Bragg rounds out the top 10. That's how your top 10 will look, while the way they leave the Five Flags Speedway. Next week, we will head up north just a little bit. We will head to the Myrtle Beach Speedway, where we will get a tan and dodge some turtles. But for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody with Red Light Racing, my name is Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. That was Al Smith, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's show, race fans. We'll catch you in 7 days' time when we head to Myrtle Beach. Until then, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you in Turn 3.